Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
Slowly now. It's a miracle that you're still alive, so let's not force it.
Yes, don't worry. The bastard really let me have it.
You have given us a fine lesson in courage, Louis. Can't say it's done you much good. But still, not everyone would have done it.
What's happened to Peru?
He has withdrawn into silence. Lord Mortimer gave him something to calm him down, and let's just say it was a healthy dose. He's locked in his room in a nearly catatonic state. We can't exactly say it's good for our business, Louis.
What do you mean?
We just lost a vote for Mortimer's cause at the conference.
I must admit that's not the first thing that came into my mind.
Don't get me wrong. It's not that I am indifferent to Peru's personal tragedy, but I simply can't forget the interests of my nation.
All is not lost. I have faith that Mortimer will find a solution. And I'm certain it won't be long before he lets us know what it is.
What would you say to a cup of herbal tea? It'll do you a world of good.
With pleasure.
Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me.
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming!
Louis! There you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Так.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Где же она? Где же она?
Duke Manuel Godoy. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
I do believe that's Emily's voice. I can't understand what she's saying.
Так.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Попробуем через балкончик.
Damn it. It's closed. Seems like the key is still in the lock on the other side. That means I won't be able to pick it. Or I could do as I did the last time in the tower room. I wonder if I can get the key by pushing something underneath and making it fall.
It's a beautiful weapon. Lovely damask blade.
A map? This should do the trick.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
I have to get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked.
Так, ну...
Perfect. This card should do the trick. Slowly, Louis. Nice and slow. I must act fast.
Да, конечно, конечно, но сначала я
My dear
обмотаю.
Napoleon, as previous.
How could you do that to me?
It's as if there are several
You're a fine
people
one to
inside.
talk. Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this.
What are you on about
A
now?
letter from
I
William
should never have
the
told you
Younger
what happened to
addressed
me.
to Emily.
That's how it works, and you know it full
What
well.
on earth
I'm not
is-
that naive.
You. Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well.
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little bitch! How dare you! Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way! I am not Emma! Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but... I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis.
Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival... You gave me something. I wasn't feeling very well, and you gave me something. What was it?
My handkerchief. And you even kept it. It was stained with your blood. Louis, I already told her. This is all a waste of time. I'm the one who told you.
Right. Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
On the night of our arrival, we were warming ourselves in front of the fire. Mortimer welcomed us in a certain way. What happened exactly?
Well played, Louis. Unfortunately, I'm not the one you should have asked that question
Так,
to. Mortimer did not welcome us. It was Sir Gregory who welcomed us that night. Mortimer didn't show up until 2 days later. I know that as well.
Very well.
Let's try some.
так. Допрос. Угу. То есть это Эмма позади нас.
Else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll. Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
Not at all. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Здорово, мужик.
We found ourselves in Mortimer's secret gallery. What relics did we find?
Property deeds in Mortimer's name dating from very long ago.
Is that all?
You mean all those mythological charms? So there was the so-called Pandora's box that wasn't a box actually. The famous golden fleece that reeked of dead goat. A broken sword that could have belonged to anyone. Is that enough?
Yes, that's enough.
You look captivated. Of course, he bought it. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well, let's talk about us.
Так.
Last night, you came to visit me, and I can't help wondering why. Why did you come to my room?
Louis, you must be mistaken. I did not go to your room last night. And that's where your little game ends, Emma. Because I never told you about it. So, there you can't answer. What? No! You didn't do that. I didn't want you to be jealous of Louis. Remember how you always used to react whenever you felt you were competing against a man? You dirty...
That's enough. I've had enough of this charade.
Мгм.
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
Так. А. Так, ну Эмили напротив, судя по...
It's you, Emily.
No, Louis! She is manipulating you!
No, Emma. It's her. I know it. Despite all the trouble you've gone to put one over on me, I know it is her.
That's enough now, Emma. You little slut! Don't think you are going to get away with this so easily. You are going to stop your little game right now. Never! I am Duchess Hills. No!
Emily?
I am the Duchess.
But
You don't. Dear God, what have I done?
Да, да,
What you've
отлично.
done. See?
Louis?
Mother!
What on earth is...
Go away. You must go. Everyone is going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess? Is everything all right?
Come on, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I am coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her. Please. Go. I'll
Куда ты в
cover
нее выстрелила, что даже кровящей нет?
What are you doing there? Stop!
God damn it. Now what's going on?
Так, теперь снимем побочки. Опа. А здесь трупешник. Да я только начал на самом деле. Там пришел Вашингтон и говоришь, типа, я заметил, как Эмили с вашей матерью шли к себе в комнату. Тут зашел, а там две одинаковых бабы. Ну, типа, Эмма и Эмили. И мать на полу, но не дохлая.
The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
Так. У Наполеона мы все облутали.
Good God. They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Так, но нам надо с матерью встретиться. Мы не пойдем к ним. С матерью. Я не помню, кстати, куда идти. Куда идти и что делать? Где здесь выход на улицу? Так, это в кабинет Мортимера. Да, верно. Невидимо, да. Уж этот лабиринт треклятый. Так, там не пройти, здесь не пройти. Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту. Здорово,
Louis,
старая.
at last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only...
Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational.
Заговор же был. Везде заговоры.
But what I am going to reveal to you...
Это же середина игры, если не вторая,
Many
третья.
years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess.
Да, будет вопрос.
Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Home does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those two.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Нет. Ладно. Скажу, что заметил.
I went beyond the nightmare, Mother.
You understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come. But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
He has contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
Так.
Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
I found your notes written in lemon juice.
Where all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait, please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
The urn? No, I didn't. Why?
Good. We'll deal with it later.
Так.
I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Holm are mere dandies who organize society balls. History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
Так, ну и
You mean the
последняя.
conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or personnel.
Louis, I am proud of you. You came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
You taught me everything I know.
Как она похожа на
Right. How did it all
зама
begin?
директора
I
Хогвартса
saw him.
внешне чем-то.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured
Она
the whole
француженка.
thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle,
Тут все так говорят,
composed of all
хорошо.
the major names in the occult world, to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found
Чувствую, что я...
someone.
Зовут Сара
I
Дорища.
found him, or rather, he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
Кто же это был?
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you refused, of course.
Why, naturally, Louis. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his
Тупо
father.
похищает
Did I
младенцев.
remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing.
Так.
What did you negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
Так, что случилось с
I
Элизабет?
want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
Нет, нет,
I'm
нет,
sorry,
нет, нет.
Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I
Теперь
never
да,
succeeded in getting
стало
it out of
понятно,
her.
почему Холл так
It's not something I'm
беспокоится
proud
о
of,
ней.
Louis, but I had to try everything.
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Нет, ты мне скажешь, старая корга.
Mother, I won't take a step further if you don't answer me.
You dare blackmail me?
I'm listening.
All right, I used her. So there you are. Happy now? We had the Al-Azif, and I didn't think we would be able to escape with it. In order to ensure that the book did not fall into their hands, or that one of them couldn't read in us where we had hidden it, I asked Emily to...
It's Emma.
Yes, or rather for me, it was Emily. So I asked Emma to hide it without anyone seeing, and then I disposed of her. I am sorry for her, but she was part of the Golden Order, Louis. She knew the rules when she joined.
Ладно, пушки
What was going
Бонапарту.
on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
Так, ко мне еще вопросы.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Так.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your
Не,
hand?
он здесь еще
Better
лейтенант.
than that.
Он
I
здесь
shall
еще
show
императора.
you.
Samuel Ritter du Choix. You wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
Ладно, пора идти.
I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
О, загадки, загадочки.
There. That's why we are here.
Bethesda. Окей. Так, чтобы выучить. Науку. Языкознание. Да, наверное, вот так вот. Вот так вот. Купи. Просто сдонать.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Него в кабинете.
Exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
Так, кресте.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother, I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes.
Она в замок
I don't
заснула
think it can be far, can it?
и отрезала
Lost it
кисть.
outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving.
Так, гвозди я знаю где.
There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see.
Так, и
What
дата.
do you mean by the concordance of dates exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you.
Так, гвозди. Ну, так. Ладно.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
In a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect.
Согласен.
It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course.
One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holmes.
Вряд ли, Беатрис, вряд
Don't
ли.
ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Вечер умеет заговаривать
Not all of
зубы.
them, though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us.
And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
Окей. Так, какой манускрипт почитать? Допрос, манипулирование. Давай. Этикет. Это и вот это. Так. Крест Климента. Пойдем его искать здесь. А вот и крест.
Famous cross of Clement III. Perfect. Hey, a Russian ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today.
Так, крест есть. Эх. Ложим мани. Ну ладно, идем искать все остальное. И я забыл, что сюда так просто не выбраться. Ты что, в Питере был проездом? Я, кажется. Так, ну пойдем в кабинет сначала за гвоздями. Ду-ду-ду-ду. Бля, я так и не понял, Петрис, ты такие хохол или русский? Какого-нибудь Екатеринбурга. Русская свинья. Свердловск, господи, это ж есть как далеко.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191.
Так, 1, 1, 9, 1. Самый лучший город в России — это Воркута, там двухкомнатная квартира стоит 60 тысяч.
Of course.
Так, не то.
Weaknesses of the Human Psyche by Gilhelm Trimore. Gilhelm Trimore. Trimore. An anagram of Mortimer. Wow. Arrogant enough to publish writings on mental control in full view of everyone. I wonder who he's writing for.
Блин, ну, по-моему, Казань все ставит на первом месте после Москвы. Так, баночки. А вот и гвозди.
Mortimer's interested in black magic. If Mortimer were there, those are the nails I was looking for. I noticed they were old and rusty, but I hadn't noticed these traces of... Could that be blood? Is it really the relic of the Holy Cross? I can hardly believe it. A Van Leeuwenhoek microscope? The most sophisticated microscope there is. When I think of the difficulty the Order had in getting hold of one of these...
Так, и...
All right, come on, let's get out of here. 6466, if I remember correctly.
Так, окей. Это я сделал. Что осталось? Осталось толкование армиллярную сферу и Библия. Уже что-то чужое. Выгрузила в машине проезда. Так, а кто здесь? Здесь что здесь? Угу. Я помню, где это. Тут как раз таки напротив. Куда? Мортимера.
Ah, Louis. Glad you're here.
Blasted. He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come and see what I've found. There are pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been
Тебя не видно,
burning
Вашингтон.
something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters.
Здорово, Дракулин.
Show me a little.
Когда стрим? Во сколько?
It's possible to
Во
distinguish
сколько
two
стрим,
different
женщина?
writing styles.
The rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain there must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
If you want my opinion, a servant must have burnt some old papers. That's all.
Why, of course. You very nearly made me think that you were trying to hide something, Louis. No, I'm sure there must be other hidden messages.
Отлично. Я как раз таки закончу третью главу. И можно будет присоединиться к просмотру. Так.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortar world must ripen in our rays.
Снять.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Так. Перед левый. И это все?
The Bible's still there.
Так, Библию я нашел. Веру и толкование. Музычка мне не нравится. Здорово, Юджин. Да, это коротенький стрим, буквально на пару часиков. Я пройду вот третью главу, может быть. Немножко четвертый. Да, мы тут детективы, это мистическая детективная история. Так, нужно здесь залутаться. Про то, как люди, демоны управляют всем миром. Да, еще тут есть баба, девка без руки. Что ты делаешь со мной, девка без руки? Здорово, Бонапарт.
Not too shocked.
I beg your pardon?
About Peru this morning. I asked you if you weren't too shocked by it all.
And yourself? Not too shook up?
The only thing that matters to me about that stupid man Peru is the disastrous situation in which it puts us for the conference vote. I wonder why Mortimer even allowed him to roam around the manor armed.
Ну вот здесь островной ГСД.
Indeed. You don't seem to be too affected. Tell me. I was wondering. You wouldn't know where to find an armillary sphere, would you?
Do you really think this is the right time? Oh, ask Volner. I am sure he will know. What with him being passionate about astronomy, you ought to get on fine together. Leave me now.
Я, блин, все думал, что например, немножко пониже.
I won't keep you any longer. See you later, monsieur.
Так. Я не помню, что мне делать и куда идти. Будем. А, все. Вспомнил. Кажется, я иду туда.
Actress, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Так, да.
Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet.
Так.
It's the
Взломать.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it. That statue is not positioned correctly.
Повернуть герою со щитом.
Open sesame.
О, кусочки янтаря.
A fragment of amber.
The Ring of the Nibelungs. Even if Mortimer is several centuries old, I don't see what part he has in this legend. So that's Pandora's box? An urn? Mother seemed worried that I was able to open it. I wonder why. So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often. Otherwise, he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it.
Так. Армиллярная сфера. Нам надо поспрашивать. Мужиков об этом.
Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time.
Давай, Петрис.
Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one?
Какие наушники не жмут? Проводные или беспроводные? Нужен Ван Вёрнер.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Так, извините первую букву. Варт. Так. ШАУЕ ППШ. Ну, давайте.
If I'm not mistaken, Paracelsus named the element called zinc.
Так. Загадочные заметки. Спрашивается, на кой они мне нужны? Так, Ван Вёрнер. Хорошая АКГ 595 серия. АКГ Синхейзер. 195 серия.
Amber.
Так, где ты, собака? К-701 АКГшный тоже хороший.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Чья я вообще комната сейчас? А, в комнате Вашингтона. ЭКГ. АКГ. Так, Вашингтон тут. Где мужики все? Да, запропастились. Эй, бабы явно тут нет.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
И его там тоже нет. Да? Да, мы были тут ни хрена. А,
An armillary sphere. Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
отлично. Здорово, Юрочка. Как ваши дела в корейской гринзе дрочильне? Что, кидал наушники в стену? А, из-за чего? Позвольте узнать. К-701, кажется. А, ну, типичная проблема, Юрочка. А там хоть нормальная ПВП или ПВП уровня Lineage 2? Или как враг на руке? Вилочкой месишься.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
Охренеть.
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed 1 nail in Bethlehem, 1 in chapter 2, and 1 in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
Так, ну что, пора приступать.
All right, my turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
Так.
The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Возьмем допинга.
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas.
Так. События, места. Отойти. Так. Фреска — это, видимо, рождение Христа или что-то в этом роде, да?
The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
I'll have to trust her. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more. Why, of course. I-N-R-I. Jesus Nazarenus Rex Eudorum. These initials stand for Jesus the Nazarene, King of the Jews. This is the inscription which appears on the cross at the crucifixion of Jesus. Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said.
Ну и...
If Mortimer deliberately set a trap by showing the birth of Christ, then maybe the solution is the contrary. The death of Christ in that case? It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions.
Так, Назарет.
Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Teveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
Беседа, да.
Chapter 19, verse 17.
Да, вот распятие.
Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Так. Отойди, старая крыга. Голгофа 17, 19. Да, я. Угу.
It works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
There must surely be a connection between the wheels.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Ну, я думаю, вот этот вот венок, который, собственно, Иисусу и надели, когда его распяли на кресте, с чем-то связан.
There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels.
Попросить помощи у матери.
Now, given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest.
Ну... Рамадана, Вана. Какого числа, по-моему, 13?
13th of Shaban, 607, waxing gibbous. 19th of Jumada al-Awwal, 639, waning gibbous. During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon. The moon shadow moves from west to east.
Так. Места.
Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash. Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head.
Нет.
Chapter 19,
Нет, это тоже...
verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan,
вот,
3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
Что это, помимо машины?
Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and two others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Так. Нужно найти Nissan. Если такое есть здесь. Ну что так медленно?
Eighth of Ramadan,
553, waxing crescent.
Молодая луна. То есть это... Молодая, это первая четверть, да? Молодая, это первая четверть. Так, а как они вращаются? Венок мы возложили на Голгофе. Символами. Венок на Голгофе. В Вифлееме 8 апреля, да? Да. Дальше. Не. Там же было сказано не про Вифлеем, а про это Бетезду. То есть 8 апреля Бетезда, да. Вроде так. Не, правильно. Это Луна в Бетезду. 8 апреля в Вифлееме родился. Так, а вот про луны, новолуние, оно вроде вот этого, да? Или вот это, ну, так, это вроде вообще затмение. А новолуние относится. Ну-ка. То есть это вот полная луна, это убывающая, да? Секунду. Это мобилка зазвонила. Так, блин, вот вопрос. Новолуние, оно же вроде месяц вот такой вот, да? То есть первая четверть Луны. То есть, вот она, по идее, должна быть здесь, на Бетезде. Но... Полная луна, да, залита кровью. то идти.
Eighth of Ramadan, 553, waxing crescent.
Сука, вот 6 тем это молодая, да? Ну окей. Как говорится, я погнал.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Юджин, если что, его рука на твоей совести. Так. Но это придется переиграть, конечно же.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So,
Ну это ладно, я это уже завтра
We'll need
сделаю.
several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism. In
Просто сегодня
Mortimer's secret
стрим
study,
такой
we have
коротенький,
to
чисто
first gather 5 objects
Чисто
before we
посмотреть,
try
что дальше.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and
Я
all we
без
need
стрима
to match
соберу
up the
все
dates
эти
between
херни
different
и
calendars.
принесу и уже будем решать
One last thing
завтра.
before you go. Be very careful. If you come across
Дракуина
anyone,
подрубай.
they can all potentially be spies
А
of
мне
Mortimer
нужно
or Holm.
готовить ужин.
Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though.
Да ладно, все, давай
How
заканчивай.
do you with and you go and
Вот так, вот так. Ну попробуй. Так, сейчас я гвоздь возьму, фу, гвоздь.
Famous cross of
Крест. Так. Выход. И тогда, я, может быть, позже ночью подрублю, у меня просто сейчас еще дела. Может быть, часам к 12 подрублю. Продолжу, точнее.